Hi, this is Mason, and you're watching the 315 with Brian Higgins. Now it's time to start the post-game show. Here's Brian.
Oh man, my mic fell down. That's a great start. The post-game show's going as well as the actual game went. Oh, how's everybody doing? That was like the next level atrocious. That was I've been trying to avoid saying it, but man, oh man, that took us back to the G-Rob era. The last month has been beyond gross, absolutely beyond gross. Welcome in. We're fighting through. We're a little under the weather tonight. Trick or treating. A 30-mile-an-hour wind of 40 degrees blowing sideways. Not necessarily the wisest move, but you got to gut it out for the candy. But we got you here. We got you here, and we will get you to Fran Brown's post-game press conference whenever it's going to call. James Barrett's going to call in. We've got the link pinned top of the chat to take video calls. We're ready to go for that during the course of the show tonight. We'll see how long we can keep it running. Got half an eye on the World Series. It's 3-1 Dodgers in the ninth, trying to force a Game 7 right now. But that was just brutal. Absolutely brutal. Absolutely brutal. Just brutal. What are the chances, Randy, any of the wide receivers will transfer? I mean, they were all liking life when they had Steve Angeli, right? Like, they were loving life when Steve Angeli was the quarterback. So, that's what you're banking on. If you're one of the wideouts, that's what you're banking on. Bear Anderson for quarterback for the lacrosse. Oh man, it's just it's not good. There's nothing good going on here, and it's just an absolute mess going on right now. Looks like we got a caller coming in. We can get right to callers here in a second. Let's get things let's get things going. I gotta hit some buttons. We gotta hit some buttons. Make the world happen here. But we can make this happen here on a Halloween Friday night. Hopefully you all had a good Halloween, took care of the trick-or-treaters with the candy and all that good stuff. All right, is this James here that we're bringing in? Nod for yes. Is this James that we had in there? Okay, it is James. All right, James, let's hang on. Let me unmute you. That'll be a good first start. Sure. All right, James, we did it. We put you on the air. What's going on? Thanks for hopping on.
I didn't know if I did that properly. By the way, no, I have no control over my font being size 4 there. I went with the name Dino 2.0 to be a bit.
I saw that. It was very tiny, but we made it through.
I attempted to adjust. I mean, when you're trying to get in, it's like put your name at the top and make sure your phone's vertical. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm getting so old where I have no idea.
You've succeeded. I feel very good at where we're at right now, James. So thanks for being the first caller today. Well, sure. What you got after that absolute disaster fest?
I'm not surprised. And what my thoughts are is I don't think it's too soon to be a little bit alarmist now about Fran Brown, because last year you happened to have, I think, a lot of elements that were, aligning in your favor. You had a bunch of NFL guys you brought in the portal. You had apparently a quarterback, one of the only few who can run this offense of Nixon. And you had, a fear coach who did really well when it came to game management. And like I said, getting a bunch of guys, including a quarterback who may be generational. What you've seen this year is either a complete lack of understanding of the quarterback room or quarterback depth, or an inability to adjust that I haven't seen at programs similarly mid and still not at a point where they've got a lot of depth or, high-end talent. Because you see quarterback, true freshman quarterback like Pittsburgh is an offensive juggernaut. Let's be honest. Their freshman quarterback is able to run a serviceable offense. We've got a program that's fallen off now 5 games in. We're starting a lacrosse player who's not even in the program from the beginning of the year. So when they put it out on social media, we're starting this kid who's on the lacrosse team. Everyone's like, who? Who's that? Who is it?
He's really good at lacrosse, so I hear. I mean, we got that going for us. That might help out in the spring.
So, look, they said he's a great long stick, player. I don't know how that would have helped, in this game, but a couple of questions that I have. Like I said, I don't think it's too soon to ring the alarm bell because even if, let's say, we bring in a great recruiting class, hopefully they're all. Well, sorry.
Okay. You went horizontal. Your phone went sideways there. You're still here, I think, James. Are we? Did we lose James? James went sideways and vanished. Try to hang up and call back, James, if you could. We'll get you right back in if we wanted to get to the rest of your point there. Something froze, but dip out and come back on us if you could, and we'll get you back on the air. If anybody else would like to join, you can. We'll get Fran Brown's press conference, which should be something as soon as it is available and ready to roll. But I've been getting this. All right, James is coming back here. Hang on for a second. We'll get James right back in to finish up his thoughts here. Hitting the buttons. All right, there you are, James. You're back. All right, continue.
For a second, I looked like Deuce Chestnut trying to make a tackle from depth. Sorry, I had to do that.
You skidded sideways out of the frame. It's kind of what happened there. That it kind of does define the Orange's
correct.
defense tonight.
That's what. Whenever I see Deuce open field needing to make a tackle, I think, boy, I liked him a lot more as a corner. So like I was saying, I don't think it's too early to at least ask some questions because let's say we've got a lot of depth coming in this year. Hopefully, none of them are really watching these games. I mean, the ones that came in for the Duke game, I would probably be like, let me go talk to that coach over there and see what's. See what's up. You bring in a bunch of your 4-star guys that you're targeting, but I don't know how you can fall off a cliff this many games in and not adjust somewhat better. I mean, you brought in an offensive line full of maulers who aren't supposed to be great at pass defense, and you say, we're going to pound Yassine. I think Fran, even though he would never have admitted it, knew this wasn't going to be a 9-3, 10-3 season. I don't even think with Angeli it would have been because the defense is just as shit as last year.
Yeah, and the schedule's brutal. So I mean, it'd be better than this, but yeah.
I mean, I think Angeli had a lot of people forgetting how tight the game was at Colgate, how much Connecticut was able to move the ball. I mean, the defense has problems endemically that are there. They've been there since last season, and you're not going to be able to outscore teams with I think our receiving group. And Angeli because the offensive line is that bad. But you brought in a bunch of guys so you could pound the ball, and I don't know how you expected to win games, but what you have is a quarterback room where you have one guy goes out, no one can even run a serviceable offense. And so either you're not adjusting because right now you run the offense you ran against Pittsburgh in the Dino Bowl, all right, where you've got Filardi, or, you run Flexbone with Ricky's mobile. Carney's very mobile. I don't know why and obviously they don't trust him to throw a pass.
Right.
So you run a military academy, triple option, something other than what we've seen, because I'll tell you, I don't know how Nixon's looking on the job boards right now for NFL positions. I'm a little concerned as a Syracuse fan at the ability of Fran to adjust and of Nixon to adjust. And also to have a quarterback room this incapable after a guy you brought in really late in the process. I don't see other schools dropping off this level of a cliff, Brian. That's my reason for alarm.
Yeah, and considering that what we saw last year when they had the dudes, what we saw the first 4 games this year, which I will incorporate your point, it was worrisome until late in the UConn game, and then Angeli got here like, oh, okay, this guy's not Kyle, but he's at least pretty good here. The Tennessee game was like, oh, this guy's not good. I will give them credit. Like, they clearly identified the issue in spring ball. They must have thought they had it solved. They went out and spent who knows how much money on Collins. Yeah. Realized in April that this is no good. That clearly this is what happened. Like, Fran's come close to saying it out loud, but you're not going to bury the kid. You're never
almost.
So you go get Angeli, and that works out great, and it looks like you've escaped your problems. And then his Achilles explodes, and man, they all landed. I am just shocked though that not one of the quarterbacks can move the ball even just a little. Like, Zach Mahoney could move the ball a little. Like I said jokingly during the game, does he have eligibility left? Like, that guy was just some dude, and he was out there flinging it around against Clemson and LSU. That's what I don't understand. I'm not expecting to win with these guys. I just can't believe it looks like this.
run an offense. And also, I mean, look, you had Nassib as the last guy go first snap to last snap without being, benched for a series or for a game for injury or otherwise. So you can't, hinge every game on a guy that you were kind of lucky to get as late as you did. I mean, the fact you had Collins and these guys, I mean, bring Villari back in and let him run. Like I said, let him run the Wildcat or the flex bone. But this there's been no adjustment. I mean, you're seeing it's almost like we're going to still run a little bit effectively, and then we're going to try and throw passes with obviously some guys who can. I mean, Ricky could get it downfield, but just to the wrong team.
Yeah, and that's where I'm interested because, to your point, like they can't pass the ball. Do you do what Dino did there in the last month? Dino was doing it to attempt to save his job, as we know. Obviously, Fran's job isn't in jeopardy. So, like, do you change what you're doing just for the sake of trying to win a game that doesn't matter in the long run? So nobody's working on what you actually want to work on. I don't know. It's a weird spot. It's really hard to
Develop
watch
a
right now.
running game so
Yeah, it's
that
a really hard watch.
if you need better balance moving forward, I mean, what we've seen from Nixon is that he can. I mean, obviously, Angeli wasn't I think the pure talented passer that Comacord was, but he was still number one in the nation. Passing yards through a lot of metrics, not just passing yards, but EPA per play. So it's not just like because they played Colgate. So he can scheme up a possession passing game with some decent intermediate success. What we haven't seen him be able to do is ground and pound other than 2 drives against Clemson. Now is the time I think I would really explore that because you may not always have a gunslinger back there. I mean, you're always one injury away from a lacrosse walk-on, a guy from Texas who apparently you're more afraid of him throwing a pass than Ricky Collins, even though he's got more interceptions and completions. I mean, I know I'm sounding negative, but I would be doing something other than this because I don't see how this is a build. What are we building toward? And understanding we need to have better quarterback depth? Maybe. But I'd like to see some work on those elements of the run game. I'd like to see, maybe some better option, QB option, some less use of Nixon and more use of Yassine. Seems Fran says it every single time they ask him after the third quarter or the second quarter when they get him on.
It does come up a lot, like a shocking amount.
Well, I don't know if he doesn't want to say, bench your son, stop giving him the ball. But if you look at just the sheer production, Yassine's not out there on third downs, but Nixon's not doing anything catching the ball. He's serviceable pass blocking, but they're not the Bills. I think Yassine could do that as well. You're getting your best athlete off the field on third down for the coach's son, who by every metric is just not as effective. I don't see him as explosive as the announcers, make him out to be.
Yeah, he hasn't really done it in the way we thought he was going to. All right, we got some callers backed up behind you, but thanks
for
checking
listening to
in.
Me, Brian.
No, hey,
I appreciate
this is a
that.
game where we need a little venting after. We need a little venting after in a game like this because it is. I mean, it was a mess. It was an absolute mess in the game like this today. It's not what you want. It looks like people are. Fran is not in the room yet, but we're getting closer and closer. well, yeah, we need Fran to pipe in here. All right, so all right, we're gonna toss you aside here, James, so we can get our next callers aboard. And let's see. Ooh, I'm making beeping noises while clicking here. What am I doing here? The fun of producing your own shows here. I'm hanging up on you, James. Sorry, I do wish to disconnect this user. Apologies. Excellent call though. Thank you for calling in. Oh yeah, I haven't finished doing that. So yeah, we're making things happen here. We're doing things. Stuff's happening. We're moving things around. I see who's our next caller up. Our next caller's name is Answer Us Fran. So we're gonna get Fran's post-game pressers sooner than later. But let's hit some buttons. Let's click some buttons here. We're gonna click some buttons. Hang on just a second. We got a lot of buttons to click. And okay, we are now going to bring on Answer Us Fran, if that is your real name. What's up, man?
Hey, how's it going? I'm sorry, my camera's not working.
Not a problem. I've got you a mysterious logo here to disguise your identity. So we can do that.
Appreciate it. Yeah. Well, first, I do want to give a great compliment to James. I thought he brought on some great points. I appreciate him mentioning the third down. Big problem. Yassine should always be on the field on third downs. But what I want to talk about tonight is Fran Brown. I think if I had to write a headliner, I would say the honeymoon phase is over.
Yeah.
Last year was awesome. Kyle McCord was way too talented to be in the ACC. That was thrilled to watch him. I'm a lifelong fan from Cicero, but I think the honeymoon phase is over. I think tonight we should be asking questions. Why did Ricky not start? I understand we needed a change. I understand something had to do it, but the answer is certainly not to start a walk-on, unranked out of high school, not a two. To me, it felt like a classic case of Fran Brown doing too much.
It's interesting because, like, it didn't work. Like that was evident from the get-go. And now I think what's fascinating is there's 3 games left.
Yeah.
2 of them are on the road at Miami and Notre Dame. Like, you're going to get just
both
smoked in these games. What do you do? Like, can you roll Filardi out there again? Like, he's gonna die. Like, Collins is gonna transfer clearly. Like, are you gonna put him back in? I don't know what you do at this point.
And that's my issue is we saw what these QB carousels have done this year. I mean, look at Colorado, for example. They pulled their guy after going toe-to-toe with Georgia Tech and then put him back in, and it just hinders the quarterback's confidence anymore. It prevents them from getting rhythm and growing. Look, we went out and got Ricky. That would be my other question to Fran. I know I'm Fran tonight, but who went out and got Ricky Collins? Because Ricky Collins committed before Steve Angeli did. Right. So clearly this staff saw something. And I don't like Fran changing his story. Over the summer, the QB battle's close. And then he's saying, oh, well, I went out and got Steve because Ricky wasn't ready. Well, they committed 7 days apart. And now he's saying Ricky's just not there yet. Ricky.
Well, let me jump in there. They didn't commit 7 days apart. Ricky came here in December, was here all spring. They watched Ricky in spring in April, and then they went and got Steve. Like, they saw him play, and they were like, that's not it. We need another guy.
What it must have been was 12 days from what I read from the portal, because I think one was a spring window. So that must have been the.
Yeah, I mean, they got Steve in the spring after they had Ricky in their hands for 4 months, which I think is very telling.
I digress, and I apologize to Fran then for the misconception. But yeah, so that's my point is just we went out and got this guy. Clearly we saw something. If we didn't see anything in, who's assessing these people? And my bottom line is I think Ricky Collins could have done better tonight than that.
Yes. Now, do I think they win the game? Probably not. Because, there's a reason we were all mad at Ricky, right, for the last month, because he wasn't good. I mean, he was more aggressive, so it was at least a little more interesting to look at. But, yeah, I don't know what you do now. You got 3 games left. 2 of them are on the road against, like, serious college football playoff or at least on the margins of it teams. I don't know what you do. There's not a good – here's the problem. Like, we're going to keep tossing out this question for the next month. I don't think there's an answer that's satisfactory right now.
Right. And, I also, going back to my first point, I know I'm rambling a little bit, but with some fake news, I was misinformed on the Ricky situation. But I also just think, I think we have to start demanding a little bit more from Fran Brown. He was a name that was thrown in the job for Penn State and all these other schools. And now I'm kind of looking at him like, what are we doing here?
I'm still in on Fran Brown
100%.
Yeah, I'm still 100%. In on Fran Brown long term, but I think it's right to ask the questions. I think last year was so good that it was very easy to paper over some of the flaws. You'd like to see, like, this is what we got to see in the next month. Can you make small steps? Hopefully get Angeli healthy. All these young guys play a lot, and then you have a good year next year. That's the hope, but, I mean, this year's it's a lost season. It's a lost season.
Well,
all right, answer us,
Fran. I appreciate you taking my call.
Whomever you may be. Thank you so much for calling in here. And let me just make sure the press conference isn't starting yet. There's still an empty table with no Fran Brown, so we'll be able to get to our guy Mike in Connecticut here. Uno momento. If I can once again click the right buttons. There's some copying and pasting as I talk my way through the button clicking that we need to do to get our guy Mike on the screen. And let's do that. Let's unmute Mike first. That would be a great step to unmute Mike. All right, Mike, what's going on? Thanks for calling in.
Wow. That was really bad.
It was bad, Mike. Wow, that's
That was
probably
really
the
bad.
best. Just wow. I don't know if we need to say much more than that, right?
Tonight was really concerning. The Filardi decision clearly is like Nixon and them are hell bent on a philosophy and a system versus the players. So as much as Dino didn't do what we want him to do after 2018,
Mm-hmm.
at least he adapted to the players he had. What Filardi
Multiple
did,
times, I thought.
yeah, this is really bad. For all the things that North Carolina hasn't done, scored 20 points against a D1, like a Power 4 team, all that stuff, we looked really bad tonight. This
Mhm.
is concerning. This is really concerning because, if you're going to go to Filardi, you expect some sort of like genius offensive plan where it works. It didn't work.
No, and that was evident
Carney
from
did
early.
So the thing on Carney is like supposedly his arm, he can't go more than 35 or 40 yards and everything like that. But guess what? If he knows the plays, whatever, just go with the system that gets him. So Nixon got a great extension last year. He can adapt. But what Fran does, Fran gets recruits that others can't and whatnot. That's what we're going on. This is a big learning year. It's oddly mirroring what Autry did. Autry went 20-14 his first year.
It was
And then
20 and whatever it was, yeah.
Yeah. Didn't do well last year. In many ways, this is the very same thing. Like weeks ago, we were talking about, oh my God, is he going to go to Penn State? Then he loses a quarterback thanks to that thunderstorm, which caused that injury, among other things. And now people want, wild hack. What'd you do hiring this guy? Why didn't we get Chesney and everything? That's wrong. But tonight was a really, really scary thing if you're an SU fan, because to start that quarterback and have him to do what he did was really, really, really bad. And so Nixon is, I think, enslaved into a system and not the talent to win, which is what Doug Marrone was so good at, which is what Babers tried to do, which was what the Utah offensive coordinator that we had did that, among other things. But like, this is really concerning. I'm long on Fran Brown. Like this is a good hire. I think we'll be good next year, but oh my God, 5-7 look almost laughable earlier in the year. Now it's looking unattainable. Right?
Yeah, I mean, my goodness, that Thanksgiving Saturday game between Syracuse and BC is going to be a glorious mess because BC is also terrible. Like that is going to be just an empty dome. Like Syracuse is going to go get whacked at Miami. Then it's a bye week, and then we're like into basketball season. Then you go to Notre Dame, you're probably going to get cooked, and then you're into that basketball tournament out in Vegas, and then Thanksgiving, then the BC game, and it'll be meaningless, just totally meaningless game. But yeah, Mike, I agree. It's again, I hesitate to compare anything to G-Rob because it's not that, because G-Rob was that for 4 straight years every single day. But when you look at the stats, what we saw tonight, and the vibe we've had the last month, it's closer than you'd like. It's way closer than you'd like.
G-Rob, I mean, I don't know if you were there. That first game, Greg coached us. We
was
played
there.
West Virginia. It was 15-7. We forced like 18 turnovers and we lost. We went 1-11 that year.
Mm-hmm.
Fran went 10-3 last year and gutted the system. And this year, it's like, okay, they're playing a lot of freshmen and that stuff, and Jelly got hurt. So Fran, here's the reality is, Fran can recruit talent.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to outcoach you.
At least not yet, but maybe the hope is that they grow into it, because last year when they had Kyle McCord, it felt like Kyle and Jeff Nixon were just out scheming people a lot of the times, and then it was starting to feel like that with Angeli a little, and now it couldn't be. I've never seen it change that fast. Let's put it that way. Like, there have been years in the past, like the years where Dungy got hurt, and you're like, oh, well, it's Zach Mahoney time. And those were just like wacky games, right, Mike? And you knew you weren't going to win, but at least it was watchable. Like, you could look at it for a little bit. Like, this has become unwatchable here in the last month, which is, I think, the most shocking part of it.
Oh, today was really, really bad. But like, Fran, is this a sophomore slump? I think so. The thing is Elijah going to be our defense coordinator next year? If he is, oof.
That's going to be a tough, like the Elijah
Yeah.
thing. People have been bringing this up now for a while, right? Like we know Elijah's a good recruiter.
Defense didn't do great tonight. The quarterback stunk, but the defense didn't do great tonight. Like,
no, you gave up the
we're not
screen pass
playing
for a
well.
touchdown. You gave up.
Yeah.
I mean, there was one play. It was like 3rd and 15 or something. You gave up 14 yards. Gave them an easy 4th down conversion. And then you just let them run all over you. And that's the thing. Like Doug Marrone wouldn't care. Like Doug Marrone had a very pro attitude. Like he would change coaches every year just to do it. Like Fran would be having to if he's changing defensive coordinators, he would essentially have to fire one of his best friends. And like that just doesn't seem to stand for what Fran stands for. So I think that's going to be, Mike, I think that's going to be fascinating at the end of the year if they make any moves like that.
Fran's could be our guy. I think this is a tough. This was a tough year no matter what. We just found new ways to make it tougher, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Jelly going down and that side of it, but like Collins is a disaster. Luke Carney is probably the next guy up. He just can't throw the ball more than 20 yards down the field.
I guess they haven't let him try. I have no idea.
But whatever calculus was to do Filardi tonight, like that's why I'm waiting for the presser. Oh my God, it didn't work.
No,
and it really didn't work really badly to do a double negative. So, oy vey, that's the thing that we'll see how Fran handles this stuff. But it's like this has got the hallmarks of a 3-9, maybe 4-8 team at this point. Because North Carolina, they should have beaten at the Dome. They've gotten better, but we're not getting better. We're getting worse. But Fran's the right guy. Don't blame Wild Hack. Fran is gonna be the right guy next year. The offseason is going to be more important than what this season is at this point.
100%.
In my opinion.
Like Calvin Russell, their major recruit. He was at the game today. Like, and people are now freaking out. Like, I'm not freaking out. Like, I think Fran is a good enough recruiter that just because the guy showed up and the team stunk, like, if you're a big-time recruit, you look at that, you're like, well, I'll fix it myself. Like, I think Fran brings in guys with those attitudes, so I'm not worried about stuff like that. But, man, it was a tough watch tonight. All right, Mike.
So anyway, I have 2 tickets to the Niners Giants game.
Oh,
I'm going. If you want to go, I got 2 more tickets. Great seats if you want to go, or raffle them off to a bird feeder fan. But anyway, thanks for having me. Go Cuse. This sucked. We'll see.
There we go.
I got 2 more. I got 2 tickets to Giants Niners if you want them.
Okay,
Brian.
Go find Mike if you want to. I do want them. I can't go. I'd love to go, but I can't. Yeah. So that's a great offer. And I appreciate it, Mike. Thank you. I can't accept it. Not for any moral reasons. I'm just not available. Do we have another caller coming in here? We're still waiting on the Fran Brown press conference. I see the podium. The podium's there. People are moving. There is no Fran Brown as of yet. So we're going to keep our eye on that as we go forward. Great postgame show. Like, hey, losing stinks. But I'll tell you this, losing makes the postgame shows happen. People love the losing postgame shows. All right, let's bring in our guy, Nick, out in Vegas. What's up, Nick?
Hey, Brian. How you doing, bud?
Well, hey, man, we're all doing fantastic after that one. That was a
just
hell of
great,
a
right?
Oh, yeah, just fantastic.
So I got a couple things I want to touch on. First, listen, we have to keep it remember, this team is young. They're playing so many freshmen and sophomores, right?
A ton.
They're so young. So that has to be given a grain of salt in any conversation, number one. Number two, if you're going to do the quarterback test and you're going to give Filardi and Carney a chance, you got to give them both an equal shot. You got to give Luke a chance to throw the ball. I mean, Jesus, he went in there, he ran the ball hard.
Mm-hmm.
Give the kid a shot to throw the ball. The one time he dropped back for a pass, he got murdered. You know?
Yeah, I don't get that, Nick. Like, if you're going to put him in the game, like, why? I don't know what. Like, I didn't watch him play high school football in Texas. I'm not up on it. Like, obviously, he won a lot of games. His stats look great. Yeah, but why? Let
the difference is,
like,
and somebody in the chat mentioned
this.
Somebody in the chat mentioned this, but it's a system fit, right? And unfortunately, I'm not sure Luke fits the system right, because in Texas they roll out to this and cut the field in half, and then they play a half a field. That's what they do, and that's not the system that Nixon's running. But you have to adapt to your personnel.
100%. I agree with you 100%, Nick. Especially in the scenario you're in right now. Like when you had Angeli, like he's a different player than McCord, but they're similar enough in the grand scheme of things. You
Yes.
can work it the same. Now Angeli would throw more slants, and McCord worked the outside more, but they were the same plays, give or take. Angeli was just taking different options on it. Like you don't have anybody right now that can do that. So you gotta. And I said this to you when you called in me and Jordan the other night. I think like I look at my Giants. I see what they're doing with Jackson Dart, and as much as I loathe Dable and the whole thing at this point, they've at least worked some of his college stuff in. They've made a mix. Now those are professionals. They got that's their whole job. It's a different beast. I know it's a different thing here in college, but you can't do that again. Like you cannot go down to Miami next week and do that. Because
No,
I mean,
you're going to get murdered.
You'd lose 100-0. I mean, it would be just unbelievable what'll happen, and that's like a 3:30 ESPN game next week. You'll get tenderized on national TV.
And I've heard you say this a couple of times, and I just want to agree with you on this. You can't go back to the Wildcat and put Filardi at quarterback. That was a gimmick that got Dino through 2 games.
Yeah.
That's not going to keep. That's not. You can't play that the rest of the season. That's not going to work, right?
Well, I'd say it might work to win you a game, but to what end? Like I understand why Dino was doing it. Dino's like, we got to win 3 more games right now to save all of our jobs. And they installed an offense in a weekend. And I'm not saying like his time had run out, and I get it. I'm not saying he should have kept his job or anything, but like I thought it was. In hindsight, like, wow, what a job they did to do something. This time, I think you got to find something that you can at least help develop anything going forward, because nothing they did this month has helped develop. I don't even want to just say the quarterbacks, Nick. Nothing they've done in the last month has helped develop anything in the offense going forward. Like,
no,
I don't
the
feel
offensive
better
line
about,
looks terrible.
Yeah, I don't feel better
I know they're
about the
hurt.
line. I don't feel better about anything.
No, but obviously the offense is a major issue, and there's different parts of it that need to be fixed. But I think the biggest issue, the glaring hole that's been just doesn't go away, is E-Rob. And I'm afraid because of Fran's relationship with him, we're stuck with him, and that is not the answer. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I do wonder, like, and Fran's in a tough spot here. Could you promote him to like associate head coach or something, and hire like I know they got Don Brown in there now working with him. Hire a guy like that to actually be calling the defense. Like I don't know, like because I said it earlier to one of our previous callers. Like Doug Marrone would have made that move in a second. Dino made moves like that multiple times. Scott Schaefer was coaching with all of his friends, and they were great dudes. Elijah's like I met Elijah a few times. He's a really nice guy, large fellow. But it's not working right now. And again, it's hard to put it on him because they don't have a quarterback. Like it didn't change the game tonight. But those are 2 main things here in the offseason. Like you got Angeli coming back in whatever state of health he is. Can you get another quarterback to come in? And what do you do to make the defense better, at least at the baseline going forward?
And what quarterbacks are you going to lose? Because I don't think Collins is coming back.
Collins will never play a snap again.
And I'll be honest with you, if I was Carney, I wouldn't come back. You're not going to give me a chance to throw the ball. You're going to throw me in. And now, he's only 1 game away from burning his red shirt.
Yeah. That'll be very interesting going forward, like, because that is an actual thing. Like, Cardi's played 3 games. We saw.
If I were him, I would tell Coach I'm not playing another game. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, he could play 1 more. We saw it happen to McCord at Ohio State. He could have been here this year if he hadn't played that 5th game as a freshman. So these are the things that we're watching. Bringing Tony White with E-Rob after FSU implodes, that would be full circle. That would be full circle. Oh man, it's just I don't know. I don't know what to make. I don't know what to make of it right now, Nick. All right, Nick. Always good to hear from you.
All right, Brian. Always good to talk to you, man. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, thanks for calling in our guy Nick out in Vegas. Fran must be peeling the paint a little bit here in the postgame locker room, because this has been the press conference scene now for basically the entire time we've been on with our callers. I mean, this is 20 minutes now. They're going all orange Gatorade, orange Powerade this week. So we got our eyes on that. You guys have figured it out. To utilize the link pinned top of the chat if you'd like to get on the show. We still got time for more calls here. It was just really tough. Really, really, really tough to watch that tonight. But we will continue awaiting for Fran to get there. Fran, we always I always find this fascinating. Dan Filardi, they're not going to do that. They're just not doing that again. Like we've been down the Filardi road. I don't think so. So this, I think, top of the head, I think this is the longest we have ever waited for a Fran press conference to start. I think it is. Like, what is going on in that locker room? Is Fran, like this is long. This is long. This is, like, this is longer than Jim Boeheim. Like, we're almost, like, the game ended 40 minutes ago, and Fran's not at the podium yet. Like, this is very, very long. So we're going to keep an eye on this, and we're going to get you it as soon as humanly possible. It needs to happen. I can't get it. It would be some serious internet magic if I could get it to you now. Yeah, Dan Filardi, he was, what did he go, 14 of 14 in that game at Georgia Tech? Now, they were all 0-yard passes, but he did it. But he did it. I don't know. It's just bizarre how... Now, Collins was better than either of the two things we saw tonight, but, we saw it for a month, and we were, as a collective, as a group, completely done with it, right? And don't pretend you weren't. Like, Joe Filardi is not going to be the starting quarterback for this team long term. Like, come on. Just good night for Gary Gade. He did not lose one of his top recruits full time to the football team. Like, it's just that's not what's going to happen. It's just not what's going to happen at all going forward. I don't know. The whole thing is just so bizarre to watch it fall off the cliff that much. I'm just trying to think of, like, Scott Schaefer's last year, Terrell Hunt gets hurt, and it's like A.J. Long and Mitch Kimball and just a bunch of crap. Like, the offense couldn't move the ball at all that year. I guess that wasn't Schaef's last year. That was his second to last year. His last year was when Dungy. Then we had those 3 years in a row where Dungy had his season ended early. And I think Zach Mahoney all-time was something like 1-11 as a starter. It was something kooky. But he at least went out and played ball to a level where you could at least do a little something. You go back to the G-Rob days where it was just, the end of Perry Patterson and just Andrew Robinson, who was actually a decent player if he wasn't getting the crap beat out of him, and Cam Dantley. Like, there was a lot of dark days there on offense. But as far as the month we just saw of things looking completely non-functional at the offensive end, it's the back half of 2014, Schaefer's second year, when everyone was hurt, when Terrell got hurt, and it's the G-Rob era. Like, that's where we're at on offense right now, and I guess the COVID year I've totally blanked out of my head. Yeah, give me a healthy Andrew Robinson. Andrew Robinson had 2 400-yard passing games in his career. It's just perplexing that, like, I would have hoped, okay, you're on your third whatever string quarterback. Yeah, Mike Tirico to be the new chancellor. I don't think Mike giving up calling the Super Bowl and the Olympics to be a chancellor would be a choice. I love me some Tirico. I'd be in good with the chancellor. That would be nice. But Mike's calling the Super Bowl this year, and then, like, after the Super Bowl's over, he's hosting the Winter Olympics, like, on the same day. I think Mike's good. If I'm Mike, I'm not trading that in for chancellor. It's probably also a smaller paycheck as chancellor as well. So, but I love me some Mike. I just keep looking, like, the stream's not frozen, right? Nobody's seeing, like, a press conference anywhere that we're just missing. This is like, I see a head moving. There's a head moving in the corner. Like, there's just, oh, wait, here's Fran. Did I hit a button? Did I miss something? What have I done? What? Oh, wait, hang on. Where's Fran? Did I click somewhere on the timeline? Did I screw this up? Hang on. Let's go back. Let's get you Fran. Here's Fran Brown. We're only like a couple minutes behind. We're okay. We're okay, people. No sound. Oh,
Just try to get something new to happen. Just something to keep going on and being able to move. It was a month straight of football, and we got other kids on the football team also, right? And just trying to get a new spark or something different to be able to move, hoping that would give our team a little bit of momentum.
And had Luke and Joe played better than him in practice, or was it that just sort of a hope that something good might happen?
No, it's always about play. I wouldn't hope. Like, I couldn't hope with people's future or hope on the Block S or anything of that nature. So anytime everyone that gets in the game, it's all about how you play and how you produce in practice. Practice is based on everything. It's just strictly through practice of what happened in practice, how he was reading the defense, doing things of that nature. I mean, his first time playing, of course, it wasn't all the passing things that you win. I thought he tried to protect the football, running the football. See, a lot of times you guys just want to blame the quarterback. But there's a lot, like 10 other people out there also, a lot of times, and there's calls that come from a coordinator and things that may come from the head football coach. So I think everybody got to be on the same page and being able to do those things and move the right way and not just push it all to the quarterback. He just happens to be in that position. But there's a lot of things that we got to do, right? You got to be able to adapt to their playing styles to make things work.
Who do we blame, Fran? Give us a name. We need to blame.
Which day was it this week that you knew that you wanted Joe to start tonight?
I don't know, probably like Thursday is when we finally decided that. Like Thursday. They split all week, so at the end of the week, it was Thursday.
And he said in the broadcast he told about Wednesday.
That chart has been like this season. Came in, true freshman, wasn't really in the mix in the spring, I guess, to start, and then now tonight.
I mean, we give everybody reps all through the spring and in the summer, so everybody got equal amount of reps through that time, especially those guys. So the way we practice, you're always on two fields. So he got a lot of reps, and I thought he made the best of the reps. I had asked one point in the summer, this kid is really good, guys. I think he might be one of the better quarterbacks on the squad. And people kind of overlooked it and then just went back and watched that, and then I watched what he was doing. When you're on a scout team, you go against the first group. So when you're going against the first group, there's things that you're able to do. So you got to see him do that. I just think it was fast out there tonight. It was a little bit different some of the time, but I think he'll keep getting better.
Does that mean he's going to play more to get better?
Fran, you're wearing that shirt that says family goes through adversity, 0-5 in these last 5 games. Just what family means to you.
Who's getting kicked out of the family, Fran?
As you go forward after the game.
What family means to me?
What family means to you and with this team as you step forward.
Family is faith, and family is everything. Like, my family is, it means everything. It's 2 of them too, right? You got my wife and kids. That's my family. That's unconditional, regardless mistakes or whatever may happen. That's through thick and thin. And then I have my football family, who everyone is here, who I love like they're all my brothers. So we're going through a fight along with my wife and kids because we're all in this together, right? But we're just going through like tough times at the games, right? But I think throughout the week we're practicing well. We're having fun at practice. Guys are competing because it's a football game. It's just a Saturday. And it's the Saturdays that haven't been going the right way, but the rest of the time throughout the week, I mean, it's competitive. Guys are having fun. Guys are getting better. It sucks that they only get graded on Saturday, right?
That's how it works.
And so that's what I feel bad for them about. If it was just myself, I would be fine, but I know that they got to deal with that and they got to go through all those things. So just got to figure out how to get that changed for them.
That's how the grading of sports works. The grading of sports works with the game on the field. That's not going to change anytime soon.
Field goal. Just what you've seen from Sparrow as he's gone through the season.
I thought he's dealt with adversity since I've been here. From in the beginning of at the end of last year, thinking about going into the portal, then coming out of the portal, and then being on the football team, to about a week and a half ago of didn't get in the game at all just because of him. Just the mindset of like, dang, I'm a senior, I didn't play. I was just a little bit upset. So then him getting his start tonight, he actually got a start, and then he was able to score. So I'm happy for him. I think that him, Joe, different guys show you to continue to have faith and work extremely hard because you never know when your number will be called, and you need to be ready, right? In life, with all of us, right? We're all in. All you guys are in the jobs that you want. Now you just got to keep working. You got to accept your role, embrace your role, so that way you're able to change your role. And I think those guys are 2 examples of guys that just kept working and kept their head down. And when the opportunity presented itself, they were able to be in a moment.
Yeah, they're going to whoop Carolina on Saturday. Look out, UNC.
Coach, was there any thought at all of putting Ricky back in it all in the game, or was he available if needed tonight?
I mean, I thought about it naturally to run through your mind, but it just wouldn't have been fair to the rest of the kids or to him. I mean, just to be able to come back in and now I'm coming in, I have to go throw and things of that nature. So it was like, I mean, of course I thought it at the end though, right? I thought when it was like game was over, you just start thinking of stuff, and it just wasn't the time to do that.
Ricky's either playing every down the rest of the year or none. I don't see a middle ground on it.
You said Joe earned the start tonight. It's quite a challenge, though, throwing a true freshman, a walk-on, who was way down the depth chart, to go out against one of the best defensive coaches in football history. So what was his mindset, you think, coming into the game? And
I thought it would be a little bit nervous, but it'd be straight. But it was also would have been a challenge because Ricky never got to play, right, at all. And then the first time he got in the game here was his first time playing, right, against a football team. And then if you go back through it, now it's just me like saying it. Of course, like we got to get a quarterback. We got some things we got to do. But you guys kept asking me, you going to get another quarterback? We get another quarterback. Are we going to get another quarterback? And then when you get the opportunity to see another quarterback, now you want to question, like, why do we have another quarterback? We just had another quarterback because he beat them out in practice, right? It's all based on practice. So the reason he played is because he won in practice. He done things in practice where all of us looked at it and we felt as though he would be the guy that could go in to help keep the game manageable so that way we can get an opportunity of winning, right? You practice hard as heck all week long, and that gives you a chance to win. It doesn't mean you will, right? It's 50-50. Every week is 50-50. Either you will or you won't, right? There's no, you got a 97% chance. Either you will or you won't. That's usually the result. So I'd look at that like being 50-50 every weekend.
I don't know if that's how it works, but Syracuse has been stuck on won't for a month now.
Hey, Coach. You talked about getting takeaways and scoring points and how that kind of leads to momentum. You guys had that kind of going into halftime. What did you see from either the offense or the defense that kind of, I guess, withered away the momentum, heading into the second half?
I think that three and outs and then allowing them to drive all the way down the field and end up with a field goal. I thought that early on we did a really good job in red zone defense. Guys being able to make them attempt to go and make field goals instead of touchdowns. So that was something that was I thought was good, and it was something to build on from a defensive perspective. I feel like the last few weeks, if you just watch the football game and not the ending score and all, you'll say, okay, the defense is playing and getting to do things, but eventually you get tired, right? Like 3 and out. We only have the same amount. We're still building depth because they're young guys, right? And young guys got to continue to stay focused and we're growing up. That's what I can say. It's tough to just stay on the football field and play 80 plays or go 3 and out. Then they end. I got to come back in. I get a 3 and out. Well, I got to come back in. We get a 12-play drive. Okay, we make them kick a field goal. Good to go. And then after 3 plays, you right back in. Eventually, those guys will wear out and won't be able to keep manning up and just being able to make their plays. But it's we're growing, right? They're young. There's a lot of freshmen and sophomore on the football field. So it's promise.
That's a fact. The defense has been absolutely gassed second half recently.
For answers at quarterback, how come Jakari Williams hasn't been given consideration?
It's all based on practice. Based on practice, he got an opportunity to go in and be able to compete at certain things, and at that moment, he was beat out by that. So it was just practice based, right? And then when you do get into practice, so I could teach y'all what the low practice piece is like, right? You got 1s and 2s, and then you got 3s who obviously on the scout, then you got the opposite. There's not a lot of reps to keep getting everybody reps, so they have to make the best of those reps, and when they do make the best of those reps, now you want to send those guys to the 1s and 2s, and then you have an alternate sitting right there waiting, but then you got the 4th and the 5th quarterback down there trying to run the scout team and trying to do those things, right? So there's not that many plays unless they allow us to have more than 20 hours a week of practice, and if they allow me to have more than 20 hours, then we'll have an opportunity of getting more reps for everybody, but there's not that many reps to be able to get that done for everybody it's not like 5 people are competing to be the starter. When you go into a week, it's 3 guys, right? Those 3 guys have an opportunity of seeing who will beat each other out.
I rarely say I want to see practice tape. I'd love to see when Filardi looked good in practice.
Coach, obviously this was kind of, you mentioned earlier in the week that there might be some shuffling with the quarterbacks, but I imagine that Joe probably assumed the first time he'd be on the field was playing lacrosse, not football. So I just am curious what that conversation was like with him, and even if he took it kind of positively and said, I'm ready to go, did you feel like...
Sure hope he did. He got to start.
Was a surprise to him at all? Did he really believe that he could rise up the depth chart this season and actually start in a game when the season started?
I mean, I feel like due to the fact of him knowing every play, it wasn't like plays were busted out there, right? So it should tell you where our program is from a growing standpoint. You had a freshman who came in that you guys had. I told you, you said he was the fifth quarterback, something like that. You said so. You had a freshman that came in that was on the scout team, fifth string. He was running routes in the spring at receiver sometime just to make sure. So that shows you how well we are teaching, right, and getting them to understand. There wasn't a busted play. There wasn't things of that nature. So he was able to continue to stay focused on the playbook, learning all the things and staying locked in, which says a lot about who he is as a kid. Because most kids, when they don't play and they're on the scout team, they just got the big lip, and then they're upset and they're not focused. So he was able to still know every play on offense, be able to use all those plays. So I think it'll be promised there. There's some things that, of course, you look at. Okay, you need to make this. Hey, you need to do that. That was his first time in live bullets. He didn't throw them the ball, right? Now, he didn't throw us the ball a whole lot either, but he didn't throw them the ball. He fumbled one time just on a run around. I think he can run. You've seen that. He has the ability to scramble. I think he'll be a good player. There's a lot of guys that have been walk-ons that went to school and doing really well, like Baker Mayfield's doing extremely well. I was with Stetson Bennett at Georgia, who's doing extremely well in it. So you just got to give them time, right? Just blame all those things. I'm always telling y'all there's certain things that go on, but we got a lot of freshmen and sophomore on the football field, and I understand and I know I want to win, guys. Like I want to win by all means, right? And last year we were able to go do that, but I had 12 guys leave and go to the NFL. So when 12 dudes go play in the National Football League, naturally it wasn't 12 waiting to go to the league the next year. So we have to build and keep going, right? You've seen Kyle McCord out there. We don't have Kyle there yet. But maybe when he's a fourth-year guy to be able to play, one of those guys that have the opportunity of being that, or us having a chance of, being able to get Steve back next year, things of that nature. But it just takes time, and it's a young football team. I mean, when was the last time there was a national championship here? Yeah, so sometimes, like, I want to win today. I want to win every time. I want to make sure I do that. Like, right, conference championship in the ACC. When the last time we won the ACC? All right, so, like, stop all this. Like, we just been winning every year.
Who has said that?
It's going. We're going to get this going, and we're going to keep building it, and it's going to be done the right way. And as we do start to win, we're going to be able to sustain it. And we're going to think about this and understand and know that, okay, they really were building stuff. Like Byron Washington started, right? There was other freshman offensive linemen that got in. Freshman corner, sophomore safety, sophomore linebacker, freshman linebacker, D lineman. 2 freshmen on the D line were playing. So you got 2 freshman receivers getting in all across the board. Sophomore running back, another freshman running back. All those guys playing. The quarterback was a freshman tonight, 2 of them that actually played. So, like, guys, I was in a game tonight with about 18 freshmen. Back in the day, 18 freshmen don't even get in the game. They're just sitting on the sideline the entire time. You wait to be a redshirt sophomore until you play football. We didn't win. It sucks. That's on Coach Fran. But when it gets built the right way and you're trying to do it right and you want to win, I want to do it with the guys that I know are bought in. And it should show you that Filardi got an opportunity of coming in and playing and didn't play all year, wasn't even on y'all ranking to see it, and he knew every play. So that shows where the coaching's at, and that shows all those things of that nature and how we're going to continue to build and do it the right way. So if you got any faith or any hope, if I was you, I would put my money on Fran and put the money on our players because we're not going to stop. We won't quit. We're going to keep working ourselves out and everything will go.
Yeah, I'm not putting my money on Fran because the walk-on quarterback knew the plays.
That you guys are going through goes beyond the quarterback position, right? I'm just curious as to what your message has been to some of the guys in the receiver room, because you do have a young team, but there are some seniors in that wide receiver room. Just what's your message been to those guys?
Steve will throw you the ball next year.
I told them they needed to step up. They got to make plays. Don't tell me somebody can't do something and then we just got to go make plays. So I told them we just need to step up. We got to make some plays for them. If there's 50-50 ball, why they keep getting it? You got to make those plays, right? So there were some plays that they need to make. There's a little bit of they got to pick it up, right? When you're the senior leg room and you got some things that have to be done, they need to go because everyone always pushes to the quarterback. But was the route ran right? When you did have an opportunity to catch the ball, were you able to catch it, right? There's different things that happen. Momentum comes and goes extremely fast, right? So that's why I don't like when we always just say the cue or even just say a position group, right? Like, and I'm not saying they're not playing well, but everyone has to step up Everyone has to continue to get better. And if you're not one of the freshmen or the sophomore guys that are just in, it is your job to lead everyone else that are younger than you to get them to do it the right way. But ultimately, it's mine. So everything, like I know the laws, guys, I can handle everything that's going to come. Fran needs to do this, A needs to do that. Just understand and know that that's on Fran. That was on myself, right? Let's continue to push that. One positive I can say is usually it's been lopsided with the turnovers. This week, it wasn't lopsided, right? It was 1-1, right? We got to be able to stop the run, but we got to run the ball. We also got to be able to pass. How much did we pass for, like 50 yards or something, 30 yards? But, I mean, you got to, it's not, we got to pick all of those little things up. So from a coordinating perspective, those guys got to get a little bit more creative so we can get things done. And I'm not saying they're not doing a great job. Things aren't right, so don't take it and go it that way. But we got to be able to adapt to our players' ability so we can go out and find a way to get a win. And next week, we got a big team we got to go play, right? We get to go down to Miami and compete against them, so we got to go do everything we can to find a way to get a win. Thank you, guys. I appreciate y'all.
A lot of third person there from Fran. He went heavy third person. All right, let's catch up to live here and hear from the players. There's Filardi.
Been like for you and your workload all year long?
I think practice has been good. I mean, I just trust the coaching, Coach Nuns, Coach Frank, Coach Nixon. I just try to get better every day, and just every opportunity I get, no matter what it is. I love football, so I just try to do everything I can.
He's got QB coach speak down.
Scholarship status has kind of been a little unclear to us. Which program is funding your scholarship right now?
I'm a walk-on, so just basically just walk-on.
We'll go to Zach and then Chris.
Joe, just kind of walking through what it was like when Fran told you you were starting this week.
It's definitely a great feeling. I feel blessed that he just has trust in me just to go out there and operate. It was a great opportunity, and I'm super grateful that he gave me.
How have you dealt with, I guess, how quickly you sort of rose up the depth chart? You came here as, I guess, one of the fifth string guys, but how did you deal with just the sudden rise you had up the depth chart?
Yeah, it's definitely surreal just to think about it. Just obviously how the seasons went before, I probably wouldn't have thought that, but I've been preparing every week as if I would play, so that's kind of what you have to do because you really never know what's going to happen. So I just trust the coaching and just try to do what they say.
Chris right in front.
Demetrius, you're one of the leaders on this team and have a few games left in your career. Did Fran talk to you guys?
Demetrius Weatherspoon.
About what you wanted to do at quarterback, sort of heading into this week?
Honestly, we trust whatever decision Coach Fran make. So whatever decision he make, we support him 100%. And then after that, we just got to step up and support whoever he chooses.
What do you think needs to sort of change for the offense moving forward? It's obviously been sort of a prolonged, slump.
We got to get in the film room, continue to practice hard, and fix our mistakes.
And get yards and points.
Joe, I saw on Twitter a lot of support from your lacrosse teammates, Team 91, Joey Spolino, tweeting out some support.
Of course they did.
Support of your former lacrosse team and all your lacrosse teammates here at Syracuse as you're still playing football right now.
Yeah, it's definitely great. I formed a lot of good relationships since I got here, so I love all those guys, and I just appreciate everyone who supports me and just what I'm doing in life.
He's not going to say anything at all, is he?
Oh, sorry. Go back to Chris.
Anwar, when did you guys find out
And
about
Horse Barrel.
the quarterback change as a team, and what was your sort of reaction? Obviously, it's
Scored the only touchdown.
true freshman against Bill Belichick is a tough ask.
I mean, it's a lot of times where true freshmen get a chance. So, I mean, I really went with Coach Fran. Like Spoon said, I went with Coach Fran's decision, and I trusted it.
This was rough.
Hey, Anwar. The tackling on the defense could have had some better plays sometimes.
Mhm.
You know, is that something you guys kind of go and practice with tackling? Was there any?
I sure hope so.
On the sideline?
Could you repeat that for me?
Yeah, that's a bad question. I was like trying to say like the tackling.
Do you practice tackling?
Tackles led to some big plays for UNC on the offense.
Mhm.
Is that something you guys talk about on the sideline after those few plays, or?
I mean, yeah, we just looked at the mistakes we made and fixed them on the sideline. Just got to get in the film room, get better.
This can kind of be for anybody. You guys have 3 more games remaining. Obviously, Fran mentioned that you guys have a big one next week on the road with Miami. He mentioned that it's kind of tougher, you know, the defense to be having those kind of sustained drives and the offense goes 3 and out. For you guys, how are you looking to, you know, kind of tackle this next week of practice to make sure that energy is high, you know, going on the road against a top 15 team?
I feel like we just gotta shake this loss, get in the film room, and just like play with our head on fire. Like we just gotta treat it like another game. It's the next game, so it's the biggest game for us. So I feel like we just gotta go in the film room and prepare like we do, and just go out and win.
That film room's going to be frightening this week. Miami's good.
Joe, obviously Luke comes in the third quarter, I guess, for a couple of drives, and then you return later. What's tough about, I guess, being in a game?
Why don't they let him throw the ball?
Do you feel that affected you at all in terms of that?
No, I don't think it affected me. I just think whatever's best for the team, though, I'm good with. So.
What'd you see on the fumble that you lost in the second half?
Yeah, I was rolling out, looking out to extend the play. I just got to make a decision faster and just probably throw it away there.
The big, fast guy tracked him down.
We'll go WHCU right behind you, Zach. If you want to pass it right behind you, thank you. And then we'll finish with Christian and Dumont.
Hey, Anwar, any positive takeaways from this game that you think the team can be proud of?
He scored a touchdown. That must have been fun.
I would just say like certain plays we just didn't give up and just let them just run all over us. I'll just say like my teammates didn't give up and I respect them for that. And we just got to go into the next game with a positive mindset and kind of really forget about this.
Weird not to at least ask him about his touchdown if he's up there.
Joe, what were some kind of advice that you got from the older quarterbacks in the room, with guys like Steve and Ricky, as you were preparing to make your first start today?
Yeah, Ricky and Steve were definitely just helping me a lot. I mean, I go to really both of them just for support and just I obviously want an opinion of another quarterback just to tell me what they're seeing out there as well. So I just always looking to get better.
Joe, after the Pitt game, Ricky was telling us he's starting to learn how hard college football is. He said Steve and Kyle made it look easy, and he's starting to realize it's harder than they made it look. Did you have a moment like that tonight where you're like, okay, this is a little harder than those guys made it look?
Yeah, quarterback's definitely a tough position, and just football in general. I mean, a lot of things kind of got to be put together to have a successful offense. So I just think we just got to get better as just a unit and all, and just be more productive, me included.
And what's been the message from the coaching staff about, you know, earning your spot and then like working to have to keep your spot as the starter?
Yeah, I think just working every day and just really just being productive and stuff.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, that was that. That was yeah. Not obviously expecting a lot out of something like that, and I mean, talk about throwing to the wolves. Your walk-on quarterback, who was the 9th string quarterback like a day and a half ago, is now. You got to do and this is part of the deal, though. This is big-time college football. He's got to go do the post-game press conference after he went 4 of 18 for 39 yards. So, yeah. Hey, yeah, Troy Nunes, you guys would have cut off limbs to have Troy Nunes out there today compared to what we saw. You would have cut off body parts to put Troy Nunes on that field today compared to what we just saw. I mean, Troy Nunes had some adventures of running in the wrong direction and then looping all the way back to the line of scrimmage like 5-6 times every game. But he did throw for 400 yards and beat Virginia Tech that one time. That was fun. Oh, man. We still do need to do our Wild Birds Unlimited Big Air player of the game. Yeah. I guess we'll go with Anwar Sparrow. He scored a touchdown. So because he scored a touchdown, we're going to give him the Wildbirds Unlimited Big Air Player of the game. And Syracuse had the lead for a while after Anwar scored the touchdown. So shout out to Anwar Sparrow for scoring a touchdown and giving us hope here for at least a little bit today. Because Syracuse, as strange as it sounds, it's hard to remember this. Syracuse had more points than North Carolina when this game got to halftime. Syracuse had more points than North Carolina when this game got to halftime. 27-10 the final. Just absolutely brutal. Yeah, clown world commentator. I'm not saying that Troy Nunes is a great all-time quarterback, but he was certainly damn better than anyone that's played in the game for Syracuse in the last month at that position. Like, come on. Come on. Yeah, James, I mean, Troy always was going in the wrong way a lot of the time, but like, Troy Nunes threw for 400 yards and beat Virginia Tech once. Like, there's not a single person that was in the building today for Syracuse that appears to be capable of that. Ooh, good point, Forever Orange Girl. Andy's a sparrow. I had a sparrow at my bird feeder today. So, Anwar Sparrow should be our Wild Birds Unlimited Big Air Player of the game because his last name is a bird. And that is something that we can celebrate. So, Anwar Sparrow, our Wild Birds Unlimited Player of the game. It is a low bar, Clown World commentator. You watched the game right today. The bar is low right now. It doesn't take an Olympic hurdler or a high jumper to get over the bar right now. Doesn't take it. The bar is on the ground right now. The bar is subterranean for Orange quarterback play right now. Like, the bar, I'm over the bar right now because it's buried under the ground. The bar is so low for Syracuse quarterback play right now. Like, anybody that's had a competent game in their Syracuse career is over the bar of what has happened with Syracuse quarterback play in the last month. It's just been absolutely brutal, and great news. The next two games are on the road at Miami and at Notre Dame. Wow. Wow, that BC game to end the year is just going to be brutal. Troy Nunes, save us all. Troy's doing quite well in the business world out in California right now. I'm sure Troy's doing just fine in life at the moment. All right, it's after midnight. Heck of a postgame show. Thanks for everybody for hanging out. Yeah, I don't know the Carney thing, James. I don't get it. Like, let him play a little bit. I'd like to see him throw the ball. I have no idea. I have no idea what the deal with him is because he hasn't really played quarterback yet. Like, I have no idea. What's going on. Clean house. That's there we go. They were 3-1, like the same group, and one beat Clemson and Death Valley. That was a month ago. The quarterback got hurt. We all know how that went. All right, here's the game plan coming up. No games this weekend, so enjoy your weekend, everybody. Tomorrow night, daylight savings time ends, so the clocks fall back Saturday into Sunday, people. It's my annual public service announcement. Yeah, the dome's going to be empty, cavernously empty for that BC game. On Monday, we'll go live at 1 for Fran's Presser. We'll go live again. We're doubling up on Monday, 9-ish. It'll be the first regular season basketball postgame of the year after Syracuse hopefully does something better than we just watched as they take on Binghamton to start the season. Myself and Jordan with our Transfer Portal Syracuse TPS Report show will be Wednesday this week. And, and then is there basketball and football on Saturday? I think so. I don't know. I can't keep up with it right now. I think there is, so we'll figure that out when we get to it. But with that, great show. Thanks to everybody that's utilized the link, as always, pinned to the top of the chat where you can call in and hang out. A record amount of callers today. Thanks for hanging with. Everybody have a great weekend. Avoid thinking about Syracuse football as best you can for the next few days, and we'll talk to you all again on Monday.
Thanks for watching the 315 with Brian Higgins. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn your notifications on. We'll see you next time.